Hello. There were technical difficulties in Get Valiant 106, so now I've created Get Valiant 106B. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm not really sure what caused it, and I'll be bringing Josh back on here very shortly because, of course, you don't want to just hang out with me by myself. Um, and yeah, that doesn't really sound very fun for me either. So, Josh should be hopping on here any moment, and we'll get back to talking about the comics. I just wanted to get us back running live again right away. Um, I know we were talking about Shadow Man, and oh, it looks like Josh is rejoining me. I already went ahead and went live, Josh.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to post the links, and right when I was trying to paste it, you had called, and I just like the second it came up, I disconnected.
Oh, well, that sounds about right. Just hanging up on me.
Yeah, so we'll have to try to. I'll see what I can do to get that edited, so we can have like just one episode on the audio
Yeah,
part.
try to put them back together. I don't know. Whatever. Things happen, unfortunately. Technology does not always work exactly the way we intend for it to, and
We're only
hopefully,
human, damn it.
yeah. And we can only deal with what technology gives us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, things happen sometimes.
So,
Um,
um, so what I was saying about the writing on it is I really like the writing overall on Quantum and Woody 12. God damn it, I said so much shit on the other one.
I
And
know, and then it got cut off right in the middle.
uh,
No, I
like you
think
know what,
Elliot has been doing an amazing job. I think that he came into this book and he brought a lot of heart that was there in previous Quantum and Woody stuff, but it wasn't as much in the forefront. And I think that's something that we've talked about the entire time he's been on this book, and it's just as true in this issue as it was previously.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird. What I was going to say, I think what I was trying to get to when the other video ended was that it's kind of weird to me that Gate is so like kind of shitty toward like Quantum and Woody, where like they have these powers and they're just like, nope, sorry, we're just going to lock you guys up forever.
Yeah,
I thought that was such an odd take. Not bad. It kind of seemed like something that would happen like with Shield in the Marvel universe, where like even though they're good guys, you're doing like some kind of like awful things.
but
And
this
and
is exactly
Catchall
why
is so
Harbinger Wars
like
2 this is why Harbinger Wars 2 made sense, right? Because it was basically Gate and the government um trying to tell psyops who they can be and whether they can live and how they can live and all that stuff, kind of like what they're trying to do to Quantum and Woody in this issue. And Livewire wasn't having it. And I like that EXO, just like he did in Harbinger Wars 2, when he sided with Livewire and kind of behind closed doors, helped her get away. He did the same thing. Well, not so much behind closed doors, but he did the same thing for Quantum and Woody. He, said, "This isn't right. I'm going to do the right thing." And he saved them. So I thought that turned this into a really really good issue. I no, I thought that I think that the idea it was presented as though it was a real Quantum and Woody trying out for unity, and then the way that the issue actually played out, I thought made a lot more sense than the way it was kind of presented. But I still like the way that it was presented the way it was because then it made the issue more of a surprise and still really fun to read.
yeah, and there was a couple of moments I really liked in this. I like the fact that like Quantum is like, yes, I'd love to be in Unity, and here's all the reasons why, and I'm an ex-military guy and all this stuff, yada yada. And then like I love when like Arak's like, "What about you, Woody?" And he's like, "I don't." He's like,
Yeah.
"My Quantum wants to be in it." He's like, "Eric wants to be in this," so I want to be like, I want him to get what he wants. And then honestly, like kind of like one of the like softer moments in the book that I really liked was the guy at the bar who was like, "These guys saved my business," and he just he presented Quantum and Woody not as a joke because they're always kind of portrayed as a joke no matter who they deal with. And even though they are superheroes, I mean, at some point, being a superhero means that you've saved the day for somebody. I like the fact that something there was a person who was affected by them in that kind of way, where in the way that they want to be kind of known as. And I just like that. I thought that was a really good moment in the book where um, I think it's part of the whole thing. I think with Alias Run, where like it's not about yucks and laughs and all this kind of stuff, but like it's still funny, it's still lighthearted, but it's like doing something different with the characters that doesn't necessarily get done. Like where they're not just meant to be a joke. Like they get to be the good guys in their moments too.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. That's absolutely what Elliot has done right with every single issue of this run so far.
Yeah.
And as bummed as I am that this is ending, I just really hope that it turns into, I hope that they give Elliot the opportunity to write something else. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's going to happen, especially, with all the change in leadership and everything like that. But in a perfect world, we would get more Elliot Rahal writing in Valiant. We'll
I
see how.
feel like that's a dude whose star is on the rise in comics too. I mean, if people have read Hot Lunch Special, it's way good. It's an awesome book. And I just feel like a lot of people are starting to take notice of Elliot. So like if Valiant's I mean, I can only speak for me. I know I really like his work. I'd love to see him continue on at Valiant doing something. I'm sure you feel the same way.
Yeah,
But
I mean, he did a great job with the Bloodshot one-shot issue that he wrote. He's done really well with this Quantum and Woody stuff so far. I thought
yeah,
that as much as it's hard to know exactly what his contributions were to the Ninjak versus trade paperback, I still thought that, that turned out really well. So kudos to him for that as well. So I don't
yeah.
know. I hope we get more from him at Valiant, and if he doesn't do more at Valiant, I'm sure that there obviously are other publishers willing to, publish his work because it is really good.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. So last, this is Elliot Rahal related. Okay, so don't think I'm just like, hey, I just got some random story to tell you. So there was this Kickstarter that I had supported a while back. It was called like Comics, something like
Yeah.
that. And he wrote a short story in it. I did not even know that he was involved with it. But it was like a really cheap Kickstarter to support. But his story in it was really awesome. It was about like school politics, and it was really funny. And it was my favorite part of the book that he wrote. Oddly enough, and he did, and the artist that he had was someone I'm a really big fan of in Evan Dorkin. So it was like an awesome story. So just one more reason to go read Elliot's work is that like he's not just superheroes. If you want to learn about high school politics, man, he's your guy too.
Well, and
Um,
obviously Hot Launch Special, also not superheroes.
no, it's a
He
crime
did
book.
the stuff with Vault that was kind of a um like an ode to classic horror movies and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah,
very
which are
versatile guy.
awesome. Yeah, I mean, like I just think like this dude's writing a bunch of good stuff, and um, I just think Valiant should keep this guy around. Like he can tell good stories.
Yeah, definitely. And then so the other two that we had, Faith, Dreamside number 3, and XO21. Faith, I think, is doing a great job of being exactly what you would want from a Faith book. I think that Jody Hauser, ever since like I remember the Faith mini that they did was good that Jody Hauser started with, and then once it hit the Faith ongoing, you could really tell that Jodie was hitting her stride with the character, and I feel like she has been right in that sweet spot ever since. I think that everything that she's written, Faith, the mini, that whole ongoing, the mini, Faith in the Future Force, and now this Faith Dream side, it's all Jody Hauser writing exactly what Faith should be, in my opinion. I think the art on this is exactly what you should have in a Faith book, especially one where they're in the dream side or whatever. Um, I think that it's awesome to see Faith teaming up with Animalia and with Dr. Mirage. This is exactly what you could want from this book, I think.
Yeah, I really like this. I thought this was great, and this has been a very fun miniseries too, So the next issue will be the kind of the big bad throwdown with the villain because I mean we
Right.
don't really get a whole lot of that. The thing I thought was really interesting about this one was that we get more of a discussion between Dr. Mirage and Hwen, who is a little more visual where they're at, and he kind of tells her like he starts having like conversations with her about like moving on, like she should move on and all this kind of stuff, which I thought was kind of odd, But it was like a weird little bit of like character progression where it's like, hey, like here's the steps for you to like do your own thing, girl, but like like if your dead husband's ghost tells you that stuff, like you're gonna listen? Of course not. So I always feel like it's so weird when you go into like these like these like physical, like these like spiritual realms or whatever within Valiant, because there's no like consistency to them. They're all so vastly different. Uh,
Absolutely.
so like this place was like I loved how like all the leaves and flowers and trees had faces. Like
And they were talking and stuff.
yeah, they're all very happy.
Not very helpful though.
No.
Only the little cherub was helpful.
And then I thought it was interesting that like the faith that blew up showed up in there from way back in the ongoing when with Murder Mouse.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool too.
It's like
Um,
one thing I just did not expect to see within the book. Like I thought that was kind of a good little kind of curveball there thrown by Jody.
yeah, I completely agree. Um, I think that because this is like as it was said in the issue, a place where forgotten dreams go and things like that. I think it makes sense because that other version of Faith was a magically created, you know, dream essentially,
Yeah.
and it makes sense for her to go to this place. I really thought that the moments with the demon transformer were really fun when Faith was
Oh
fighting
yeah.
that dragon car, as she said. I thought that was really fun. That was really cool. Just all around, I think there's a really good, Jason is pointing out, he likes Dr. Mirage in this because she's not in as dark a place. I think that there's still that bit of darkness there, like that moment when she's talking to Gwen about, and he's telling her to move on, and it's a pretty emotionally heavy moment. But obviously, but yeah, she's not like as down and depressed the whole time. The Dr. Mirage series were super, super dark, and both of them were. And this one, this feels like a more lighthearted Dr. Mirage.
I like the fact that we're getting a little bit more of her. We just got her in the coalition storyline with the Ninja K. We're getting her in
Yep.
this. I like that we're getting more of her, and I think Jody handles her pretty well. So maybe if Jody's going to stick around, she can do more of Dr. Mirage. That would be great to me.
Yeah. Alternate between Dr. Mirage books and Faith books.
Yeah,
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I just think all around it's a really good book. I think it's been done really well. I think MJ Kim has been essentially perfect on the art. It's exactly like I said before. I think this book is exactly what, if you want a fun faith adventure, this is giving it to you. It's in spades. So for me, oh, you know what? We didn't even grade Quantum and Woody 12, man. So,
well,
um, Quantum and Woody 12. I don't know. What do you think on that one? I'm gonna go with a 4. I think it's solid. It was good. It was fun. I
oh,
recommend it.
I'm way higher. I'm actually like at a 4.75. I loved it that much.
Crazy. Well, I don't blame you. I mean, it's a really, really good
Yeah.
book.
I just thought it was a great ending. As far as this book, this one was good. I mean, this is another good one. Like, I was really happy with this one. Um, I think that like, unlike I liked Quantum and Woody 12 a bit more though. I'd give this one about 4.25 though. I think it's great. I mean, like, Faith is just being awesome, and I hope that like I think this would be kind of a fun ending. I'm really excited to read the ending of this book too because people who've listened to this podcast know that I bitch all the time about face villains. They're all a little bit softer hearted. And it seems like this is totally not that kind of person, like that kind of villain for Faith. So I'm really curious to see how this one goes. So
Yeah.
excited.
I'm actually right there with you at a 4.25. I think this is perfect faith.
Yeah.
Anybody who likes the character, I would imagine, would love this book. And yeah, I'm excited to read the next one. I hope that there will be more Jody Howitzer faith stories coming after this because they've all been really good.
Yeah.
Um, and then the last book to talk about is Exo Manowar number 21, which with the recent announcement that Juan Jose Reap isn't going to be working with Valiant any longer, it's kind of bittersweet to be reading, Juan Jose Reap Valiant book still coming out, but it's drawn so amazingly well. His book is a perfect example of why we are such fans of his work. And
Mhm.
I think that the writing on this issue, like this whole arc so far, has been absolutely phenomenal. I love the characterization of Capshaw. I really, really like all the divinity stuff coming into the rest of the Valiant universe, the broader Valiant universe. Um, yeah, I think that this has been such a fun, action-packed, exciting book, or not book, but arc. and this issue is just more fun ride.
I totally agree. This was a very strong issue, following two previously very strong issues too. A lot of action. Um, I just got to talk about it. I love seeing Exo Manowar split a bear in half. You know,
Dude, that was amazing when he just ripped that bear in half. That was the shit.
here's something that's really awesome about this arc to me is so like they're fighting these disciples of the cartographer, which is a good name for David Camp. I like it a lot. Okay,
Yeah,
and in what I thought was a very funny moment, reminded me very much of one of my favorite movies, Big Trouble in Little China. At the very end, when Jack Burton is fighting a guy and the guy falls on him and Jack stabs him, but the guy's so heavy and he can't move him. I like the fact that like the bear just fell on Exo Manowar and kind
yeah,
of was like, he's
just
like,
crushed him for a bit.
just can't get him off, and then just picks him up and rips him in half. I was
Yeah,
like, awesome. But I think that like this is a really great arc showing how well Matt Kent does with a lot of pieces within the storyline. Because we've got David Camp, we got his followers. I thought there was a good explanation for like kind of what David Camp is a bit, like he can access all this energy. I think it's cool. We get all these different forces, the brothers of the bomb, and then like these other dudes that like come in with like these robot looking people.
though I thought it
Um,
was so cool to see more of them, and they're like erasing people from existence and shit. You
yes,
will be struck through or whatever. Like,
yeah.
goddamn.
And what was so cool about that stuff too is then like Capshaw, who is just awesome in this arc, she steps up and is just like very assertive in who she is and kind of directs everything from there. I really
And
think
she's
like
running game on them because she's the one that's got the power core that they don't know where it is.
yeah, and it's cool to me because she's probably the person with the least amount. She's easily the person with the least amount of power because everybody else is from
Oh yeah,
like different worlds. They've got high tech weaponry. They're basically like Exo Man, you know. And she is just so assertive. She's so driven. She's a military like leader, So it's like she can just like she knows exactly how to like move the people around. I just thought it was such a great issue. A lot of awesome action between EXO and the people from the unknown, fighting off David Camp and his people. Um, awesome art. I mean, these last three issues of EXO have been everything I like in EXO. This is easily my favorite arc of this entire run.
oh yeah, 100%
Easily.
with you.
Yeah, this has just been awesome.
Yeah, for me, this is honestly, this book comes in at a 4.75. For me, this is damn near perfect. I think the art is as good as you could want it to be, and I think the writing is extremely solid. Um, yeah, you'd be really hard pressed to ask for more from this book.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 5. I'm that happy with it.
Sure,
Um,
I don't blame you.
this arc has just been so much fun, and man, I mean, like, I think a lot of it for me is just how much I enjoy the divinity material as it is. Like the stuff that Kent has worked on outside of EXO is so good. I think that he found a great way to incorporate everything.
Yeah,
He's I mean, like, whether anyone loves this run or not, he's done a good job on the book. Okay, and I mean, I do like his EXO. This is the storyline that I just love, though. It's just
yeah,
everything I want in one of these stories. But the fact that like he does so well with those other characters, and the fact that he is able to bring them in and make the storyline this good, it's awesome. This is the kind of storyline I think that like you know will be fondly remembered.
yeah.
You know, by fans. That's just how I think. Because like it's very exciting. The
It's
art's
going to be
great.
really hard for Kent to top this arc,
Possibly, yeah.
but we'll see. But yeah, so I mean, those are the books that we had to review. Four good books. I don't think there's really a dud there. Um, Next week we've got, unfortunately, the last issue of Ninja K will be the only book coming out next week. So
Well, we'll get into a Ninjak heavy episode next week.
yeah, definitely a lot of Ninjak talk next week. I'm really curious to see how it ends. I'm really curious to see, um, because Galad has been involved in Ninja K so far, in this last arc or two. I'm really curious to see how this ends, and then Galad obviously is going to be an incursion soon. So It's going to be interesting to see how that all transitions.
Yeah,
Um,
it's going to be interesting because like we know where Galad goes after this pretty much, but where we don't know anything. There's nothing even hinted at with what's up with Ninjak. So who
yeah,
knows?
I can't wait to see. I love what Chris Gage is doing with Ninjak as a character, and the only bad thing about that issue coming out next week is that it's ending. That's the only negative thing. Um, but yeah, so I want to again apologize for the Jason has to bring up that goddamn Bloodshot issue, that goddamn Heartless issue every
Keep
time.
bringing it up, Jason.
Don't need to encourage him. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, four fun books. Next week, obviously only one book, and we know, Valiant isn't putting out a whole lot of a large number of books right now, unfortunately. But I think that the books that we are getting are really, really good. The new Livewire series that Josh and I have read the first issue, that's going to be coming up soon. It's amazing.
Oh, I
Um,
can't wait till we get to talk about that. It's awesome.
Absolutely. I'm really, really excited. Um, yes, Tor is on my side. Tor is in the live chat, and he liked the Artless issue
Or
too. He gets it. He's the only guy that gets it.
go get that tattooed on you, Tor.
That whole Artless issue, yeah. Oh, I'm still jealous of him and that goddamn Bodenheim cover that he got.
Yeah, that's
But
awesome.
um, But yeah, I get what you're saying, Jason. He said get Valiant went artless for a bit tonight. Yeah, I want to apologize for the technical difficulties. We did go artless for a little bit there, pulled a Jeff Lemire on you,
The
and
black episode.
the black episode there for a bit. Yeah. Um, yeah, William wants to make sure, Josh, that you actually read Ninja K14. So
Hey, I only don't read Shadow Man, which I don't know why I don't, but
apparently Shadow Man's the only thing.
I'm a little, I would just say I'm a little busy lately. You know, I'm trying.
Gee, I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
uh, but no, we've only got one issue, so hopefully we'll both read it. Can talk about a lot of Ninjak, and
I
yeah,
might
we'll
have to go
see.
back and reread all of Ninja K just to kind of get like a good feel for like
I
it's
might
like
have to do that as well, honestly. Go back and reread the whole thing. At the very
plus I
least,
mean
that first arc, because goddamn, that was awesome.
yeah, it's been a pretty much a perfect run. I was talking with Philip who was on the in the live chat on our 100th episode about it today, where it's like it's just been such a great book, and you know he was saying that he had slept on the book a little bit, and then he was like, I started reading it again, and I can't believe why I even slept on it in the first place. This book's amazing. It's like, yep, like good
Well,
stuff.
both of
So
those books that have endings coming up, Shadow Man and Ninja K have just been absolutely phenomenal. But at least, in my opinion, Bloodshot Rising Spirit is rising to the challenge of filling those shoes of an amazing book. I love that first issue. I cannot wait for the next one. And it's very clear that Livewire is going to be right up there as well with that high level of quality. So, still
oh
got a
man,
lot of stuff to look forward to. At least, even though we're not getting a ton of books, at least the ones that we're getting are good.
yeah, I mean, and overall, I mean, like even if they're not like the characters I necessarily want to see, because I mean, obviously to me, it's like I do think a little more old school where I'm like, I want those classic characters, but the characters that aren't even classic ones, like the newer blood of Valiant, they're good stories.
Yeah,
So I mean, you never know like what the title is that's gonna hook some fan. And as much as for me it was like old Bloodshot, some kid might or some anyone basically can might be like, hey man, this Forgotten Queen book. I really liked it. I want to read more about this.
absolutely.
Who knows?
Absolutely.
We'll just see. I'm not gonna fault anyone.
Well, well, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us and for putting up with the unfortunate technical difficulties. Um, and hopefully, we'll have another artless issue to talk about really soon. To
Hopefully not.
hopefully, we get something that high quality. I don't know if anybody has the balls though. Oh man, this has been
If
Get
you want that
Valiant.
experience, just memorize the words and close your eyes.
Yeah,
That's all.
this has been Get Valiant episode number 106. Signing off. I'm
Me
Eric Baumgart.
and I'm Josh Rathbun.
And I hope that you all stay valiant and go artless.